we couldn't find any Japanese people to shoot the video with us. They all backed out. Okay, today we're going to be talking about living in Japan, Japanese personality traits. We're going to be using comparatives to compare Japanese people with Westerners, and we're going to be discussing our favorite things to do in Japan. Okay, level 2, 3, being Japanese. Whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah. We are not Japanese, though.
We're not Japanese.
But we'll try.
We'll try. We couldn't find any Japanese people to shoot the video with us. They all backed out. Tim, would you say that Japanese people are shyer than Western people?
For sure.
Absolutely. I would say so too.
Hands down.
What do you think? Now, you're not Japanese, but what do you imagine are some of the good things about being a Japanese person?
Well, I think like some of the good things about being a Japanese people is basically being raised and growing up in a really just rich, culturally rich and financially rich country, where you're given so much tools to use, like to progress in your life. Education is very high. The standards of educational standards are very high. The standard of living is very high. You can experience many different cultures living in Japan. So yeah, I mean, it's a great. If you're born in Japan, you're quite lucky. I think.
That's supposed to be quite lucky. Would you think there are any negative aspects to being born and raised in Japan?
Well, yeah, I mean, as in every country, I mean, not everything is perfect. People here are, I mean, much higher than in other countries, I suppose. And maybe the educational system doesn't really encourage so much, maybe individuality, as much as in other countries. So, yeah, but I would say that maybe it's like a negative aspect of being raised in Japan.
I think so. Education system's a bit rigid here, isn't it?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's changing, though, I think.
Yes, it seems to be. Now, how would you describe Japanese people? We said that they're rather shy.
Conscientious would be my first word, basically. Like in my country, Greek people are so friendly. I mean, they're much friendlier than Japanese people, by a mile. But you cannot really trust all people. I mean, some of the people that will talk to you, they are what we would say, they are bullshitting you. It's something.
Such bad language.
It's something that happens on a regular basis. Same in the UK. You can't trust everyone. You would be just really ill-served trusting everyone in the UK.
Can I just say that you can actually trust everyone in the UK?
You shouldn't. Please don't.
You actually can.
But in Japan, you can actually really almost really trust every person. Obviously there are some, just untrustworthy people, but I mean, like on a whole, like just people are so trustworthy here.
Do you think that Japanese people are healthier than Westerners?
I think that's a fact. They live longer than Westerners, for sure.
They live longer. That's very true. Do you think that Westerners are more hardworking than Japanese people?
I think that's it depends on the person. I mean, Western people are less conscientious, I think, on a whole. I mean, and it's harder to manage Western people than it is to manage Japanese people, maybe. But I mean, Western people, I think, when working, they want to be inspired by the company they work for, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I understand. Yeah. What Japanese activities do you enjoy doing?
I like going to hot springs. I think that's about it. How about you?
I don't mind going to hot springs. I actually kind of like going to the hot springs more for the location than the actual hot spring itself.
Mm-hmm.
As for Japanese activities, no, I often say to my students that only my body is in Japan. My brain is still in the West. I don't really watch any Japanese TV. I can name about 3 Japanese, celebrities just now, and I don't do much in the way of Japan. I love Japanese food, of course. When I was younger, I did judo for about 3 or 4 years.
Well, same here.
Yeah, that was fun. I did that for a while, but it wasn't out of an interest in Japan. It just was, that a friend of mine was in the judo club.
I think that's a good point about globalization, honestly. I mean, we like things from different countries. I love hip-hop. I have no cultural connection to the US whatsoever. But I mean, I love like hip-hop, I love jazz, I love Japanese foods, I like going to hot springs, it's a great thing about, our generation, I suppose. It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all. Tim, it's been very, very nice talking to you, but it's time to go, I'm afraid. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video.
Have a nice day, Jamie.
You too. Bye-bye.